Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Teresa. This is Lost My Thread. Today I want to talk to you about my 5 essential handmade garments. I am here today because Sarah of Naughty Gnome Crafts put out a video recently where she was sharing her 5 essential handmade garments. So one item for 5 different categories, and at the end of the video she tagged me asking me to do the same. I was not going to let this eye down, so I'm here to share my video today, and at the end I will also be tagging some fellow sewing vloggers asking them to do the same. The 5 categories she picked are your essential top, essential bottom, essential one piece, which could be a dress or a jumpsuit, essential layering piece, which could be like a jacket or a cardigan, and then you're allowed an essential wild card. So basically anything that you really wanted to include in the previous categories or accessories or any other handmade items. I like that she used the term essential rather than favorites because I feel like there's one thing that's a favorite, but it's not necessarily an essential piece in your wardrobe. And so I tried to take it in the spirit that she intended. What are the patterns that I think are the most useful, adaptable, adjustable, versatile, and really what I feel like are the most wardrobe staples? And I had to go for my essential top with the La Brea Tee by Half Moon Atelier. I'm wearing my most recent version now, which is a refashion that I did in May. And what I love about this pattern, for one, it comes in different bust cup sizes. Always a big win for myself. But also I really love that there is both a knit and a woven version that you get with this one pattern. So you could really use either version for knits or wovens, but she, I think, intends for one to be more for knits and one for wovens. I like that this works in a whole variety of fabrics. So I have used drapier fabrics, more structured fabrics, and I feel like it looks beautiful whatever I use it for. It's a pretty simple one to put together. It's more or less just a basic tee. The knit version though, I will say, the one intended for knits, you do the binding around the whole front and back of the neckline, and then you overlap the shoulder seams. Whereas the one that is intended for wovens, you put together the shoulder seam and then you later on create the binding for the armholes and the neck hole. So that's the difference between the two, but honestly, I love both versions. I love the dropped sleeve here. I feel like that's a really nice, comfortable style for me to wear. I love the overall silhouette of this, so I feel like it fits me really well across the bust, and it goes in just enough at the waist to give me a little bit of shape without being too difficult for me to pull on and off over my head. I've made a dress hack version of this. Like I said, I've made this in so many different fabrics and I feel like it looks amazing in whatever I make it in. The t-shirt, or the jersey version I should say, I feel like looks really fun and a little bit retro. This is definitely one that I know that I'm going to be reaching for again and again. I've even used it as the basis for a refashion last year for a top, or a dress rather, that wasn't fitting me very well, and I took the general shape and the fit from the La Brea Tee because I knew that that fit me well. It's definitely one that I go to, and definitely one that I feel like if you buy this pattern, you can make so many different things with it, and I don't think it would look obviously like one same garment because I feel like it really allows the fabric to do the talking, and definitely for me, it is my most essential top in my wardrobe. Now, when I was thinking about essential bottoms, I felt like there were a lot of ways I could go and a lot of patterns that I love, but I decided that really the most essential to me is I think that everybody needs a good pair of elastic waist pants or trousers in their wardrobe because they can go so far in so many directions. And the one that I decided to pick are the Pomona pants and shorts by Anna Allen. I have only made one pair of these. I've made one pair of shorts, but I have got another pair of trousers that I'm going to be making soon. And what I like about this one in particular is that the waist, the elastic waist, it goes over your hips, but it's not massively wider than the hip, which means that it doesn't gather and bunch up as much under the waistband, which is important for me for elastic waist trousers. I don't want to have too much extra bulk in that area. This one also doesn't have a side seam, which I think makes them more comfortable, but also would work really well if you have a beautiful print that you maybe want to have one complete piece going from front to back. You don't have to break that up with the side seam. These are a wider leg trouser as well, which I think makes them absolutely perfect for spring, summer, and autumn. What I particularly like about elastic waist pants and why I felt like I needed to include them is honestly you can make them for everything. You can make them in a soft cotton flannel to wear for pajamas, or in like a silk or a viscose to be really beautiful and floaty and dressy. You can make them in linen. I made them in a cotton linen. I feel like they look really fun and cool. I just feel like you can do so much with elastic waist pants, and these ones really are the ones that I have found so far that I like the fit and the shape on my body, so they just had to be my top essential bottoms. For my essential one piece, I had to pick the Zadie jumpsuit by Paper Theory. I love a dress, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I really could make and wear Zadie jumpsuits for many years to come in all different fabrics and love each and every one of them. One of the things I love about the Zadie jumpsuit is I feel like it looks so good on so many different bodies. If you scroll through the hashtag on Instagram, you will see gorgeous Zadie jumpsuit after gorgeous Zadie jumpsuit. You can layer it up to wear in the colder months. I have made 3 versions of the jumpsuit, and I also did a dress hack version. It is a really beautiful wrap style jumpsuit with some pleating at the front and the back to give you a bit of shape. This is definitely one I will say that is intended to be oversized. I size down 2 sizes when I make my Zadie jumpsuit, and I would say if you haven't made this pattern before, I would start by sizing down 2 sizes and take it from there, because honestly I think most people end up doing that in the end. But what I love about this jumpsuit is how comfortable, how casual, how cool it looks, how dressy it can look depending on the fabric. So I made a version in a viscose linen fabric, but is just super comfortable and relaxed. I made another version in a viscose lawn fabric, which is just so elegant, so beautiful, so stylish and sexy. I made another one in a cotton double gauze fabric, which is just super comfortable, but again, I think looks really elevated and elegant. I feel like most woven fabrics would work for the Zadie jumpsuit, and it is definitely one of those absolute secret pajamas. Feels always comfortable to wear, always a really nice one to reach for, and I'm always excited when Zadie jumpsuit season comes along and I can start wearing this one in the spring, in the summer, and in the autumn. Definitely Zadie jumpsuit is my #1 essential one piece. For my essential layering piece, I decided to really just look at what in my wardrobe gets worn the most, and that is easily the Blackwood cardigan by Helen's Closet. I feel like this cardigan is really beautiful and just so versatile. I feel like it is really suitable for work, but also really cozy for just throwing on when you're at home. I feel like it can look really dressed up depending on the type of fabric that you use. This is a jersey cardigan, and I feel like it really works with anything that has a decent amount of stretch to it. So I've made it in a rib knit, I've made it in a cotton jersey, I've made it in bamboo jersey. I feel like all of those work really well. It would be great for like a modal jersey, a double brushed poly I've seen them in, and that looks amazing. I'm sure that would be super cozy. I like that for this one as well, you've got a longer version or a shorter version depending on the style and what you're pairing it with. I like that it's fitted along the sleeve. I feel like that's just a really beautiful, elegant look, and this is definitely a go-to, absolute staple in my wardrobe. Blackwood cardigan, easily my essential layering piece. I am so glad that I was able to use an essential wild card, because honestly there was one garment that I felt like I couldn't not include, which is the Concord Tee by Cashmerette. I've talked about this pattern a ton. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I'm sure you've seen this one come up. I have made 12 different versions of the Concord Tee, plus a dress hack version, because this for me is the best fitting t-shirt for my body. Now I think this is another thing everybody needs in their wardrobe, which is a good fitting t-shirt pattern, which is the style and the shape that they like. Cashmerette have bust cup sizes, so again, I know I'm gonna get a good fit right out of the packet, and I feel like this t-shirt for me is absolutely exactly what I want. It hugs where I want it, it's loose where I want it to be, so comfortable, really beautiful on me. You do get quite a lot of options with this pattern, so you can make different length sleeves, you can make different length of the top, you can get different necklines as well, but I have gone above and beyond that. I have mashed this up with other patterns to make turtlenecks. I have mashed it up with patterns to make tank tops. Like I said, I did a dress hack version by just adding a gathered skirt onto the bottom. And I feel like my wardrobe would feel probably about half the size if I got rid of all my Cashmerette Concord tees. So for me, that is definitely an essential in my wardrobe, and one that I feel like I couldn't live without. Thank you so much, Sarah, for tagging me. This was such a fun video to put together, and I cannot wait to see what other sewing vloggers come up with their top 5 essential handmade items. You guys definitely want to check out Sarah's video because she has a really great style, but I also feel like she's got a really good fashion head. And so I feel like she's got a really unique perspective on this topic. But I also really do want to see other sewing vloggers videos. So Sarah is going to be putting together a playlist. So go to her channel, watch her video, find the playlist so that you can see other vloggers' top 5 essential handmade items. And I definitely need to keep this going. So I'm going to be tagging you, Bree of Bree Michelle Made, Sarah of Sew Sarah Sewed, Emma of Sew Do It Emma, and Alex of Mason Lifestyle. I am dying to see all of your 5 handmade essential items, and I know that our viewers out there will all love to see them as well. Please tell me your 5 handmade essential items in the comments down below. Make sure that you give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!